to order, and I'm going to call on Bill Pound to call the roll for the purposes of establishing a quorum. Bill?
Thank you, Senator. Alabama. Alaska.
Here.
Got it. Arizona.
Here.
American Samoa. Arkansas.
Here.
California.
Here.
Colorado.
Here.
Connecticut. Delaware. District of Columbia. Florida.
Here.
Georgia.
Here.
Hawaii. Illinois. Idaho.
Here.
Indiana.
Here.
Iowa.
Here.
Kansas.
Here.
Kentucky.
Here.
Louisiana.
Here.
Maine.
Here.
Maryland.
Here.
Massachusetts. Michigan.
Here.
Minnesota. Mississippi. Missouri. Montana. Nebraska. Nevada. New Hampshire. New Jersey. New Mexico. New York. North Carolina. North Dakota. Ohio. Oklahoma. Oregon. Pennsylvania. Puerto Rico. Rhode Island. South.
We have more freight on trucks and less on rail. And the kind of freight that needs to move on rail is the heavy freight. And colleagues, we have seen too recently the status of our highway infrastructure. And I would submit that we need to keep heavy freight on rail and not on our highway system that's already overly congested and infrastructure that's deteriorating. And Mr. Chair, one last thing. Over the last 26 years, the rail system, the private rail system, has invested nearly $400 billion in their infrastructure. Let's not re-regulate railroads. Let's find another way to deal with this issue. Colleagues, this isn't the appropriate way to deal with this. I urge a no vote on this particular resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Stout. I think there's someone at microphone 7 that I recognize. State your name. No, excuse me. Microphone 7 is next.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Representative Clayton Halverson from South Dakota, and I'm the sponsor of this resolution. The title is The Importance of Rail to the Agriculture and Energy Sectors. Primarily what this resolution is doing, it's asking the Surface Transportation Board to level the playing field in areas where there isn't competition. Many places around the nation, such as manufacturers, utilities, and agriculture, are being charged high rail rates because there's no other option. What this resolution does is not a re-regulation, but it's asking limited federal action to correct a monopoly where there is no competition. It's been asked, why are we getting the federal government involved? It's because you cannot have any action by states. We need the Surface Transportation Board to step in and appease the problem. I know that this resolution is fairly contentious. It's been around for 3 meetings now. I appreciate the patience that everyone's had with this. I know we have an uphill battle today, but I do think that just promoting it this far, we have raised the level of conversation. I think we've brought some light to the problem, and I'm asking for your support on this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Microphone 4.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Yvonne Miller from Virginia, and I'm standing to oppose this resolution. We have gone through the battle of regulation of railroads This is not the time to fight that battle again. I ask all of the delegates to please vote no on this resolution. Thank you.
Microphone 2, Representative Packard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Sherman Packard from New Hampshire. During the debate in the Transportation Committee, we were told that if this was put into place, that those that have limited access would get competition. When you regulate something, you destroy competition. So by re-regulating the railroads, the only thing we're going to make it is harder for railroads to improve the tracks, improve the lines, upgrade their cars, because they're going to not make the money and the profit they need to put the money back into the rail lines. This is a bad idea. We got rid of regulation a number of years ago on a lot of things. Do not go down this track again. It is bad for the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Microphone 1.
Thank you, Senator Robert Blendu from Arizona. Our experience in Arizona has been the federal government has failed us on almost every level, whether it be regulation or their obligations through unfunded mandates. Our forests burned by the thousands of acres. Our highways can't be expanded even though we've set money aside. We have to go through 2-year environmental impact studies to put a lane on the inside of an interstate highway. The problems in Arizona have been best solved by the people in Arizona. And I'm not presenting any more regulation back to the federal government. Our experience has been that the committee of bureaucrats in Washington aren't the best system to solve the problems in Arizona, and I speak vehemently against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Microphone 5.
Mr. Chairman, Glenn Lott, representative from Colorado. I rise in opposition to the resolution. Just as cursory reading of the operative legislation by Overcar makes this clearly an effort to re-regulate the railroads, and by passing this resolution, it would commit NCSL to lobbying for that action. I urge your effort to defeat this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Microphone 7.
Mr. Chairman, State Representative Gordon Peterson from South Dakota. I'm the chair of the Transportation Committee and have been for some like 20-some years.
To have it here on the floor to have a discussion about this issue. Being from Montana, as you can see, we're one of the people that we don't have competition. There's absolutely no competitive nature within Montana. And when it costs our farmers more to put something on a train in the middle of Montana and send it over to Seattle or over to the east than it does for somebody to put it in Minnesota and take it all the way to Seattle, that's what we're talking about with this particular resolution. We are captive shippers with no competition in the state of Montana. In fact, our industry in Montana is actually shutting down spurs to assist us in getting our commodities to market. That's why we need NCSL's help with this resolution. We needed to go to the federal government to assist us as much as possible in getting our products to market. We are not able to do it in any other way. We do have, trucking industry, but that's the only competition as far as the railroads are concerned in Montana. So that's what this is about. It's only in places where there is not competition. We don't have the ability to go. We're not getting any help from the Surface Transportation Board either. And that's what this resolution is saying, is the Surface Transportation Board is not doing their job either. So if they can't do their job or are not going to do their job, then we need the federal government to step in and help our citizens. So I would appreciate NCSL's assistance with this and support this resolution.
Thank you. We have to recess in just a minute. I'll take one more speaker, and if we still have other speakers, we'll have to delay the vote until after the Secretary of Church. Microphone 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Steve Farley. I'm from the Arizona State House of Representatives. And while I'm a Democrat, therefore I have a little more faith in the federal government to do some regulation than my esteemed colleague from the Arizona Senate. I still agree with him completely that this is a very bad resolution and ought to be voted down.
Those opposed, no?
No!
The chair declares the noes have it, and the resolution is not adopted. The business meeting will stand in recess subject to call of the chair while we hear from Secretary Chertoff and make it through security.